dries up. I'm afraid it's mandatory for you to be present as well. I'm not going to require that much of you. We all know that died long ago. Thank you all so much for joining us here today. I wanted to make sure that we were able to talk a little bit, as this is our last day of the convention altogether. Students, it's been wonderful to see you here, and you've all been on your best behavior, including some of you that tend to be a little more troublesome. I'm very proud of you. And for the pro heroes in attendance and teachers, it's been wonderful to see you repping our fabulous UA among the alumni and those of you who are our dedicated educators. That's what I like to see. Yes, as a matter of fact. Why do you think I hired you?
My winning personality?
No, that's Mike.
Don't bring my husband into this.
So glad to see you're finally being public about that. Love to see it. The point I'd like to make is that there have been quite a few recent developments for us. I will say, for any of you who are avid readers and perhaps have a bit more foreknowledge of some events that might be occurring, maybe some of you with quirks to see into the future, I don't want to have any spoilers for anyone here in the audience. We will be taking questions right at the end, so please keep that in mind as you're asking your questions. However, anything to the general viewing audience is fair game. Just a warning.
Out of character translation, we will be talking up to where the anime is right now. We will not be discussing any further than that, so if you are further in the manga and know some stuff, shh. That's what I like to hear.
So, there have definitely been some recent developments that we can all learn a great deal from. After all, it is important for all of us to take lessons wherever we can in life. I am always in favor of continuing education. The first one I would like to talk about, considering he is now our #1 hero, Endeavor. Oh, come now. Well, I mean,
the worst crime.
Yes, the worst crime imaginable for our most manly student, I'm certain. Oh, I believe they might have a challenge. I'm afraid we are only doing the student versus student battles in a carefully watched environment under very content. I don't want to see any battle royales in the hallway. We expect quirks to only be used at the appropriate times under the appropriate circumstances. Don't forget your licenses can be removed.
And you can't use them.
He'll do it too. I've seen him do it multiple times. He's not kidding. Your career will be over.
The only two genders. Are you a miner or are you a frog?
Mammal of indeterminate species. That's the third one. It's secret and it's only mine. No one else can have it. But he is our #1 hero. After his battle with the Nobu, of course, that became one of his key moments for everyone's memories. However, what some of you may not know, in his personal life, unless you've watched the anime, come on, you should know this by now, is he has made a considerable effort after almost losing his life He had to realize that he had not been as good of a father as he could be, that he hadn't been taking care of the people that should have mattered most to him. He's made significant efforts to try and become a better person in those regards, and even has taken steps to apologize for it. This is an admirable quality, even in someone who has made many mistakes in the past. Of course, the reception for that can be mixed, and that has to be accepted as well, which I will say, despite his temper and any personal feelings that I may have about the man, and his effects on my students, I will have to say that he took the responses that he received with grace. After all, when you've wronged someone, even if the best thing for you to do is apologize and do better in the future, the heroic thing to do is to accept that not always will someone forgive you, and you have to be willing to admit that you were still wrong, and you have to keep working to become a better person, even if they personally can't move forward from that, as his children didn't. However, of course, his loving daughter and his wife were able to see a new side of him because of that. These are lessons that we can all take to heart in our own ways and in our own lives, providing a more heroic stance for things. For students, what might be a little less personal, but I did want to highlight as well, we did have our marvelous Class 1A versus Class 1B matchups, and we were all able to see your full prowess and see how far that you've come.
I can't believe I'm saying this. Good job, kids. I'm proud of you.
I do believe you may have gone soft. I have to tell you, this is marvelously surprising, though you might want to watch it. The expulsion option is still on the table. There are other options on the table. And now he's not the only one that has it, after he's been furthermore showing how lenient he has become with our student Hitoshi Shinso of the general class.
That's my boy.
Yes, engaging in personal tutoring and training.
You're making it sound weird.
Come now, don't be like that. It's completely admirable.
Okay, you're saying that. You sound like even more sarcastic, though. Like,
No,
get-
I'm proud of you. Even if you are.
your pride fills me with shame. I'm afraid to ask for context. Tumblr doesn't allow those kind of pictures anymore. Shinso, Aizawa's unintentional adoption. Unintentional. I think I read that one on AO3. No, him seeing the ability of Shinso to, dare I say it, go beyond. Good job. You understood the assignment. To see Shinso and his drive to become a hero, because even in season 1, when we were seeing Deku for the first time, they were establishing class rankings, Aizawa was getting onto him saying, what good is a hero that can only throw one punch if you're gonna destroy your body? Of course, we know why he is a little antsy about people being self-sacrificial now. We'll get to that here in a minute. But telling Deku, it doesn't matter how strongly you feel if you can't do anything about it. You need to tone your body, you need to understand not just your quirk, but the strategies in which you can use them and which you can combine them with other heroes to save lives. Because this is not about you and you proving who you are. This is about being a safeguard. This is about protecting. This is about saving human life. And understanding that it is the human life that has value and not the savior of it. So when he tells Deku, it doesn't matter how strongly you feel if you can't do anything about it, he sees Shinso, and his quirk is an evil quirk. It's a sneaky quirk. It's an invasive quirk, even with the mind control. But he sees Shinso's feelings and also his drive to improve. And I think that is the main reason why he's taken Shinso under his wing, is because this kid has ability and drive. And he is actively looking for new ways to develop that into a hero persona. And Aizawa can't help him with a quirk. Aizawa can't help him with the drive, other than advice, but he can give him a direction and training in which to go so that he can discover those things for himself. And a scarf.
Critical. The scarf is extremely important. And of course, that does tie into... Ha 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 ha! I'm very funny. You all just don't know it. The fact that I'm always smiling and I sound like this seems to make people think that I'm just joking all the time. So when I actually joke, no one laughs. You all need to get better at that. There will be grades on this from now on, I've just decided. Nezu, Principal Nezu, is always funny, yes? Congratulations, you all get passing grades from now on. But you have the fact that Aizawa, of course, sees this potential in Shinso. He tells Deku and Bakugo both that it doesn't matter how hard you can throw a punch, it doesn't matter how much you can destroy around you. If you're not actually able to help people, then you're in no position to be a hero. And of course, the reason that Principal Nezu gave Aizawa carte blanche permission to expel as he likes, even though that should be an upper level decision. However, we do have to have special considerations because Aizawa sees in his students those who are willing to throw themselves directly into harm's way, that are willing to put themselves at the ultimate risk because they think that's what they need to do, and realizes that the only way to ensure that these people, that these children make it to adulthood, that they have any chance of actually becoming a hero that can save people.
And not a Nobu.
And not a Nobu. No Nobu's allowed at UA. You will have to be expelled from classes if you are turned into one. I'm sorry, but that is just the policy that I have set and will stick to no matter what. But there is no sense in self-sacrifice that prevents you from helping more people in the future. And expelling a student who shows that that is the path that they wish to take, Aizawa sees as the only way to prevent the destruction of young life and potential.
Because while being a hero does mean that you may have to put yourself in harm's way to protect other people, you have to be willing to do that as a last resort. But you have to be willing to do that only as a last resort. That's not the go-to. You need to be smarter. You got to be clever. You got to use teamwork. You have to communicate with your team. It's like, I will die, protect. Okay, yeah, and then you do, and now we have to train another whole school full of heroes because you all just scattered off like cicadas, little husks of your former selves. What up? Look, don't die. That's all I ask. Don't die. Please don't die. It's a lot of work training you to be heroes. And if you die, then I have to do it again. But not well. Right. In the vein of a hero's life has value, a hero's life has value the same way the rest of the populace life has value. A hero is able to save more lives by putting theirs at risk and in danger. But if you sacrifice yourself for other people when it is not necessary, you are again making a waste of a human's life, even in the church. Just listen to me. I was gonna say listen to President Mike as well, but like you can't help it. Trust me, I've tried. Singing in the showers is very different when the glass shatters everywhere. I'm gonna go to sleep.
But I was just about to talk about your favorite student again, and you're really going to go to sleep now? For one thing, one of the reasons that Shinso was ultimately allowed to join in on... I see, the shrill call of a child is the thing that manages to waken you from your slumber.
I didn't ask for this call out.
A teacher at heart, folks. Shinso was allowed into the hero course not only because he demonstrated his ability to function as a hero and be able to save people and the responsibility necessary to fulfill that role, is the fact that ultimately he was willing to risk losing the battle so that he could save Midoriya from himself. He was willing to help out his opposing team, specifically so that he could not only save a life, but with a future plan in mind. He challenged Midoriya to another fair fight, instead of saying, oh, this is my advantage, my time to take this opportunity to underhandedly defeat him. No, he wanted to actually fight him fairly and be able to go through the challenge of that, even though it could mean losing in the moment. And that ultimately demonstrated a quality that we all should strive to have, and that you should be willing to help people even if it might not make you look as good. Maybe it means that you will have to delay that gratification and wait until later to truly get the right result instead of the fast one.
Life advice with Aizawa Sensei. Being a hero is not about you.
An excellent, excellent point. Not only that, but of course, with our dear Aizawa, and as well as several other students, Shinso, Monoma, you have people that will have to become heroes in ways that no one would expect. Of course, we have our strongest fighters who are able to bravely jump into the most manly situations.
Can I throw in a piece of trivia for the series? Some of y'all may know this, so don't spoil it for anyone else, please. Bakugo. Is anyone familiar with what chemical it is that he produces to make his fireballs? Yell it for me. Nitroglycerin. All right. I don't know if any of you have ever been in a lab and worked with nitroglycerin, but when you set it on fire, it smells like burnt sugar. So yeah, Bakugo constantly smells like toasted marshmallows. I reckon I'd be cranky too. He's looking for a chocolate bar.
Come now, part of being a hero is being willing to take a bit of a roast now and then. How else will you survive the press? I am. You are correct. You are.
Principal Nezu is always funny.
Yes, yes. Correct. Wonderful. You all kept that in mind. Very good. So, we do have, of course, some insider intel from a secret source who I will not name about things going on the opposite side of the law, where we can also find some interesting lessons. There is a company, Detnerat, which you all may well know, makes all of these beautiful custom devices and house furnishings for people of all different quirks, shapes, sizes, and those of us with less human appearances. Not enough tables or not enough chairs are made with a tail pole, I do have to say, and I find that extremely offensive. And
We got him a little ramp for the couch in his office.
they did. A wonderful product of the Detnerat company, once again. Thank them so much. However, it does seem that there's something going on behind the scenes. The, what is it? Meta Liberation Army. And that brings up an excellent point that we all have to consider. What is the balance between freedom and order? Of course, in a hero society, the way that we have designed it, the idea is that everyone has to be responsible not only for themselves, but for society at large, for the people around them. You have to be aware of how you interact and affect the world. And because of that, there are rules. People can't just use their quirks willy-nilly. You have to be registered. You have to prove that you can use them responsibly. Are you providing me a nest? Because I will crawl inside there again. I've done it before. It's very warm. No. You know that won't work on me. Nothing can stop my stunning intellect. You can try, though. We'll remember what happened last time, though, won't we? You were trapped in your office for a week. Amazing how you can find the structural weaknesses in a building with just a few.
Best sleep I ever had.
It was supposed to be a punishment, but I guess when someone has that much desire for alone time. However, the point being that we have developed a system by which everyone has a certain amount of accountability. While there are others out there that would insist that personal freedom is the utmost importance and that to deny oneself or limit oneself in any way, shape, or form is a fundamental violation of one's rights. What we have to be wary of, because of course it is important that everyone is able to express themselves. We live in a world that is full of wonderful variety and expression and talent.
But we also live in like a society.
We do. We live in a society, folks. You live in a society. I live in the Animal Crossing kingdom. And I'm deeply in debt to a raccoon.
I thought he was a mammal of indeterminate species. I asked someone at the table today, I was playing Animal Crossing, waiting for the panel to start. And I was asking them, because we were speaking a little in character, I said, actually, what do you think Aizawa's like Animal Crossing island theme would be? And immediately they said, oh, it's an all-cat island. And I had to take a beat, because I have an all-cat island. I didn't, oh yes, I have. I didn't cosplay, I didn't This wasn't supposed to be one of those cosplays that you do and project. But it's important to know yourself, I guess.
And yet the teacher voice comes out every single time you dress like this. Former actual teacher, they just can't help it, can they? But know thyself. An excellent point. We've also had several examples of that recently, haven't we? Between our dear Ochako realizing I thought it was about the money, and that was why I wanted to, and everyone around me has these noble, lofty goals. Everyone around me has these wonderful reasons to want to be a hero, and she feels a little bad that all she really wants is to... Entertaining yourself, are we? Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so proud of you. Realizing that as she was helping to save Midoriya, are you going for nap time again? But, oh, you did lose your boat, didn't you? Someone was kind enough. Oh, there it is. You put it right over there, you silly thing. Good job. Realizing that she didn't really want the money, though she could sell that scorpion for quite a few bells if she really wanted to, couldn't she? Are you going through that last fight where you got that lovely skull fracture? Or?
Making a lesson plan.
You know, sometimes I worry about him, but I can't help but approve of the results he gets, even if the methods are harsh. Please don't bring an entire box of scorpions to class again. That was such a mess to clean up last time.
Thank you for specifying entire box.
How about none at all, then? No more fun for you. You've been doing all of your own lesson planning. I'm going to put Mike in charge of helping you do that again. At least he has some amount of reason. There we go. That's the face I like to see. You gotta put on that, persona that you give for the press. There it is. Yes, yes, yes. Keep that up. Keep it up. No, keep going. You can.
Extra lessons will be held immediately after closing ceremonies. For you.
All right, well, as we finish talking about knowing yourself and knowing your motivations, knowing that ultimately, while you might have found a reason that puts down yourself and why you thought you were doing something, Ochako thinking it was only for the money, only to realize that what she was really looking for was the relief that she was able to give her family, that she was able to bring to others, and her finding her true noble goal to pursue being a hero. That is something we can all do as we truly investigate our internal selves. As I'm certain you have done on multiple occasions, I assume. I certainly hope you have your motivations in order.
It's a duck, actually.
Did you have that in your mouth?
No, I have this one in my mouth.
Mike, come get your man. This has gone completely feral. All right. Well, we do have about 10 minutes left before we have to start closing up this wonderful event. And I would like to go ahead and see if anyone has any questions they'd like to ask as we have these last few moments. Yes.
Is it Decker?
No, it is one of our fellow educators.
Oh, well, Decker's small.
Oh,
But yes, I know. What you got? Hey there, handsome. Like, when you say I need to put my students in therapy, do you mean I need to send them to a therapist, or do you mean I need to put them in therapy? Because I got one of those now. That makes both of us. I have sent all my students to therapy, yeah. I'm sure, or I'm not trying hard enough.
Physical therapy does not count in this context, I'm afraid.
I have definitely done things to my students that have sent them to therapy, yes.
Those expulsions sure do hit the ego, don't they? Yes, do we have any others? Yes? Oh. Well, you see, if Aizawa had it his way, they would have just run off and eloped, and it would have been a quiet thing.
A quiet thing.
That's why Mike came to me for the appropriate planning. We had a massive event, and then he didn't show up, and they had to run off and do it quietly anyway. A waste of so many plans. Do you know how many invitations that I personally sent out?
Do you know how many teachers can say they foiled one of Nezu's plans? Best wedding gift I ever got.
Truly, this is our darkest day. Anyone else? Do I have any other questions? Yes, you.
Define war. I will say, and I will say no further, neither of us wore a dress. Oh, no, just neither of us wore a dress. It's none of your business what was worn, if anything, but... No, neither of us wore the dress.
Yes, you. A small gift for Aizawa.
Does it meow? Okay, I guess it's okay. I guess it's okay. I'm married.
While they're receiving their gift, do we have anyone else? I just want to make sure. We only have a few
More
short-
lessons.
Oh dear goodness me, no. This cannot end well.
Okay, so Fauna's quirk is animal control, right? And Dash's quirk is super speed, right? But if they are attacked by a giant scorpion, and that's the plan.
You do realize I have to go through and approve all of these, right? Right? You do realize that I have to actually look at these things and read them with my own two eyeballs.
You're welcome.
The suffering I go through. I see a hand raised over here.
Given how many countless heroes we have produced, I am curious as to what the quality of heroes produced would be if Aizawa was, rested. Because is he tired because of burnout? Is he tired because he plans to? Is he tired because he can't sleep? Is he tired because of depression? I would say, yeah, Mike snores. That's why he's sleepy. Mike snores. All right.
How many earplugs do you have to wear?
I wish I didn't have ears. Actually, I don't know what anyone's quirk in the audience is. I'm not going to say that because if someone's got like a monkey's paw quirk, I'm not about that life. I want to go ahead. We're going to wrap up here in just a minute. We've got closing ceremonies starting soon. I want to thank everyone for coming out to YamaCon. I'm sure you caught at least one of us at a panel. We really appreciate it. We're so glad you're here. I'm going to let Principal Nezu say some conclusions, and then I'm going to grab a little bit of stuff for us.
Thank you all so much for joining us here today. It's been wonderful seeing you all over the course of the con, seeing all of your wonderful outfits, seeing all of the dedication and excitement you've been able to bring to this entire event. And I want to personally thank you all and just express what a joy it's been to see you all here expressing yourselves and all of the unique talents and creativity that you all have. I do try to be kind whenever I can. I just save up my rage for the tests, which some of you have those coming up. I look forward to seeing you.
That's a joke, you better laugh.
Principal Nezu is always funny.
Since we did end the day with panels and right into closing ceremonies, and we weren't allowed to, hang on, there's a word. Hey, thank you. We weren't, wow, what's your word? We're not available to meet up with you back in the dealer's hall. I do have a couple of UA things up here. We are about to head back to our state of Oregon, so we won't be able to see you guys probably till Yama of next year. So, we don't want to take these on the plane. This is a pay what you can situation if you missed out on the auction. If you want one of these, whatever you've got, we request around the $10 area or higher. If you want one of the UA hats, I can take a card, absolutely. If you want one of the UA hats, come and get one for everyone. If you don't have any cash on you, I've got some stickers up here for you with the logo I designed. I think you'll enjoy. The turtle doves are not for sale.
I do want to say just real quick, for our students and staff that were able to buy the UA hats for the charity, I want to give you a special thank you, because even though these, you've already gotten to have one of these and now there are more for other people to enjoy, yours specifically went to a very noble cause, and I want to thank you personally for engaging in that for a higher cause. So thank you personally for getting early access on those. And so with that, feel free to come up here if you want any of those, and very shortly we will be having closing ceremonies. Thank you all so much for coming.